In today's video, we're going to be talking about the brand new upgrades. We'll get into some of the FC Pro live cards. On top of that, loads has happened in the last 24 hours, so we will be covering it with investments and so on. But before we do get underway with the video, we are going to advertise a quick little subscriber Discord I offer over on Twitch/Discord. For a Twitch subscription, which is free with Amazon Prime, if not it is £5, €5, or $6, you'll get access to my trading Discord. And between now and the 1st of February, there'll be daily investments, and there is a channel where you guys can message me when I'm not streaming. In there, you'll get yourself daily updated investments, and again, you can ask me any questions. Some investments that have done very well recently were, and these were cards only recommended less than 48 hours ago, was Sorloth, who's up 2.5k and rising, Ruffalo, who's up 13k profit and rising, Prince, who's up 9k per card and rising, McManam's right back card's up 11k and still rising, the right mid one is up 3.5k and still rising, and Delo is up 6k and still rising. In fact, I checked Delo earlier and I think he's up 9k and rising. So some really good investments over there on the Discord, and again, you can get it for free of Amazon Prime. So in today's video, we are going to be talking about what sort of upgrades we can go and expect with the FC Pro live cards. Because, a bunch of the pros played yesterday and there are loads of upgrades. In fact, there's some nice double upgrades. So let's talk about what sort of upgrades we're getting. The best performing card was, or the best performing pro was Stingray, who is linked to Bino Gittins, and he's going to receive a nice little upgrade. He's going to receive a +2, and sadly +2s are just +2 to every stat. Sometimes in the past we'd get a +2 and it'd add 3 and 4s across the board. This year a +2 literally does mean you're going to get +2s. So main stats ends up with 95 pace, and going to end up with 91 dribbling and 86 shooting. He also is going to be getting himself a new roll plus, and he's going to be getting himself a new position. So for example, at the moment he's got left wing and left mid. He might end up with striker, he might end up with right wing, he might end up with cam. My prediction would probably be right mid, just so they mirror where his card currently is. And on top of that, he will also be receiving himself a minor roll plus. So lots of upgrades on Bino Gittins. Well, we saw this reflected in the price where he was 200k all day. I sold him in the pre-hype at 200k. He went down to 184k just before it occurred, and then he skyrocketed up there to 250, and in fact up to 270 now. And I can see this card continue rising going into Friday. The second card, which I'm sure you guys will be quite interested in, I'm very aware of, is Fabio Carvalho. He isn't going to receive as good of an upgrade, if I'm not wrong, because his pro didn't end up with as many points, but he is still going to receive himself a +2 rating, and I think he receives himself a minor roll plus. So, he might go and receive something new for the cam. But yeah, +2 rating will be very nice on the likes of Carvalho. And again, I can continue seeing him rise into Friday. The last player who's receiving a rating upgrade is Redondo. Redondo, because he's pro qualified, he's going to go and receive himself a +1, taking him to an 87, and he's also going to get himself a minor roll plus. Now, the players that aren't going to be able to be upgraded any further, but they do receive one upgrade, is Amrabat. Amrabat's pro, I believe, won a game, and as a result, I think he's going to get himself a +1 skill move or weak foot, and I think he also gains a new position, but no rating upgrade. Same with Oxlade-Chamberlain. I believe he receives all he receives is a brand new alt position, and I think he also gets a roll plus, and I think Amrabat is also getting a roll plus. Finally, onto Morsey, and I believe his pro player, he now just receives a +1 skill move and weak foot. And as you can tell, with the last three, obviously not very appetizing upgrades. So you can see that Amrabat went from 29 down there to 23. We can see that Oxlade-Chamberlain went from 32 down to 15. And we can go and see Morsey went down there from 15 down there to 12. She might have been saying, why did I go and sell the likes of Bino Gittins in the pre-hype? Well, those drops occurred and they weren't even on expensive cards. Bear in mind, Bino Gittins probably could have gone like 40, 50k. If his pro didn't perform. So that's the trends with these FC Pro Lives. Can you go and buy the ones that play in future weeks? I wouldn't recommend it. It didn't really work last year. They didn't really have that much of a rise going into their games this week, so I wouldn't really recommend it, especially going into Team of the Year. Well, we also got ourselves some quite nice content yesterday, and that was a CDM Evo. We talked about the CDM Evo in videos in the past. Talked about how Tusha Many could fit well. It allowed a slightly higher rating than expected. In fact, some of the best players were 86 rated who weren't initially anticipated to be able to fit. One of those was Ramirez. Now, Ramirez, again, goes and fits the Evo. Ramirez doesn't have any promo cards yet, and that's probably why he's one of the more demanded cards for this. Well, he receives himself a +3 physical, he receives a +2 defending, a +3 dribbling, a +5 passing, and that's about that. I believe he probably gets himself a playstyle... not playstyle, sorry, a player role as well. Well, what did that go and do to the likes of Ramirez's card yesterday? Well, it went and basically pump and dumped. I had viewers who bought him at 250 and sold him at 450, but you can see he came crashing back down there to 260. Since then, he has gone back up to 300, so there would have been a little bit of money buying him at 8 to 10 p.m, which is when we normally buy them, and then selling them now, although buying at 10 p.m. and selling now wouldn't have turned over any money. I'll be honest with you, I did go and look at these cards in the morning, and I thought, I did look at these cards at 8 to 10 p.m, and I just wasn't really that confident that the Evo was good enough to make them be a good investment. We saw the same sort of thing with Matuidi. See, when I saw the upgrade, I thought, it's not that amazing. You know, Matuidi gets a +2 pace, gets a +2 physical, a +2 defending, a +3 dribbling, a +1, a +5 passing. But I thought that card is just nothing crazy. We've had CDMs and send mids with 80 stats all over the shop. The only problem is when you go and compare it to his prime card, it's very, very similar. And his prime card is coming in at, well, it was coming in at 550k. So comparing it to a gold card, not amazing, but comparing it to the prime card didn't look bad. As a result, what were the trends with the likes of Blaze Matuidi yesterday? Well, he went all the way from 80k all the way up to like 250k, crashed back down there to 100, and has gone back up to 125 since. So yeah, it would have been a bit more money buying him between 8 to 10 p.m, which is the normal trend, in comparison to Ramirez, who just didn't work very well. There were other players that want to fit the Evo, such as Tuchemeni. We just didn't really see there being any sort of movements with the likes of Tuchemeni. We saw quite heavily pre-invested. Then once the Evo went down, he went down to 4.9. It's now 5.5. No money on that, but it does make a nice Tuchemeni. It doesn't go and give him any playstyle pluses, but regarding defending, gives him bruiser, intercept, jockey, slide tackle, anticipate, aerial, coming in at 6'2". Does he have any? Yeah, the problem is with centre back, he doesn't actually have any roll pluses, which is slightly worrying. But yeah, with 85 pace, 86 defending, 85 physical, 84 passing, 4-3. I mean, you're paying 5.5k for the card. It's not looking too bad. Some other popular combinations, easy for me to say, is Bellegarde. Bellegarde goes and fits through Quarter Century Quest 2. Remember Kyber, which are all active at the moment. I'm just not convinced it really gives him that crazy of a card. Bear in mind, you could get Tuchemeni without, wasting these other Evos. And yeah, his base card didn't do anything. Regarding SBCs yesterday, we went and got ourselves the 77 player pick, the Numero Challenge 1, and the Flashback Biani. I didn't personally think there was really any investments on this. Here's Biani, I mean, she's literally 43k. The problem is, unless you play for Barcelona or maybe even Real Madrid, there's just no demand for La Liga Women's. In fact, when I was looking for strong links, these are our best strong links. And, well, they didn't exactly have any movement yesterday. So, Biani, not a bad looking card, but just completely unlinkable. And it's crazy, like, the Saudi players are more linkable than the likes of Biani, but there we go. Quite an interesting thing, though. EA went and added 100 players. They talked about this at the beginning of Winter Wildcard, and I think they've released them at the end of Winter Wildcard. Yeah, EA went and added about 100 players, and a lot of these are, like, relatively old players that I presume their previous contract would have expired, and therefore there's probably a bit of awkwardness, transitioning them from one club to another, which is why I've had to wait 4 months. But lots of really good flashback players. I'd be very surprised if a lot of these aren't going to go and get flashback cards, or if they do like an old school foot birthday where they give us loads of old OP FIFA players, flashback cards. We've got Obana, who's playing for Watford at the moment. We've got Sanchez, who's been added, and he's playing for Udinese. We then have Quatters. Now, Quatters, obviously, you guys don't really care about, but it's quite interesting for the South America grind, because obviously adding an 81 rated is pretty big when it comes to the South America grind and Libertadores grind, especially as he's not from River Plate or Boca Juniors, meaning, yeah, another high-rated player, but from a different club. We then go and get ourselves Marco Reus. Again, could be some pretty interesting cards. A lot of LA Galaxy promo cards already, so that'll be quite interesting, with us having Yoshida, Brugman, Caceres, Puig. So yeah, quite a lot of promo cards already for his club. We then get Rabiot. Rabiot was someone everyone was really hyped at the beginning of FIFA, thinking, oh, I'd fit some great early Evos. Sadly, again, wasn't actually playing for any club at the beginning of FIFA, but he has been added now, although not been added into FIFA quite yet. But yeah, has great sort of possibilities in fitting Evos down the line. Next guy, Cascarino. She just had quite a legendary Olympic Lyon card last year. I remember she had a triple threat card. Nothing too insane. 4-star skills, 2-star weaver, but she's playing her football over in the NWSL. We've got Szczesny, who returned from the dead after smoking his way out of playing. Actually, he just retired for Juventus, where he came back. I think he's only like 30 odd though, so it was always a big surprise when he retired. But obviously, Barcelona had their injuries, and he's come back playing for Barcelona. We then got Mats Hummels, and it was news to me when I saw him playing in the Europa League. I didn't even know he was still playing football until I watched him play in the Europa League. But Matt Hummel's right there. Again, there's no reason for these guys not to be going for fodder rate. But yeah, nothing too crazy there, but I'm sure we can have some amazing flashbacks down the line. We then get to one of Jesus' mates. He's been added back in the game. He's been playing all over the shop, but there's Victor Moses. Again, great possibilities for flashbacks. Balotelli, FIFA legend, football legend. Definitely expecting some flashbacks on him. We then move to Willian. Maybe not as much, but playing his football over in Greece. I mean, if they go and give us a Willian, does he have any links other than Brazilian icons? No. No is the answer. He heavily does not. But William, there we go. Easily flashback potential. And then finally ending off there with Martial. Again, very, very fan favourite card when it comes to FIFA. A few other things to go and talk about. Team Year vote occurred yesterday. No real surprise. I think one of the main surprises for me was that no Courtois. You know, no Courtois does mean the goalkeeper is probably going to go to Emi Martinez. I'll give you my predicted Team of the Year. We'll be able to wrap this up quite fast. I don't necessarily think you're going to get the most deserved players getting Team of the Year. Sometimes you're just going to get the meta. I'd be surprised if Salah doesn't make it in the attack. I'd be surprised if Vinicius Jr. doesn't make it in the attack. And then it just comes down to FIFA. Deservedly, it's probably Yamal. But it might go to Ronaldo. It might go to Mbappe. But yeah, deservedly, it should be Yamal. Then moving on to midfield, I'd be surprised if we don't go and see Rodri in there. Other than Rodri, who else are we expecting? We expect to see Bellingham. And then again, depending how much it comes down to the FIFA vote, depends if it probably goes to Valverde or Palmer. Palmer's probably more deserved, but of course, FIFA players pick more what's meta. We're going to throw... Where are we going? We're going to throw Bruno. And I don't think Bruno does, but that's great. We'll throw Palmer in. Easiest thing ever to access. Then moving on to the defenders, I'd be surprised if we don't go and see Van Dijk in there. I mean, Bastoni's probably deserved in there. Lucas Hernandez, I don't see any way how he doesn't get in there. But yeah, the last ones I'd imagine will be filled up with maybe Rudiger, maybe getting filled up with Frimpong, maybe Ruben Diaz, maybe Saliba. There's plenty of players in there that I think could go and fit in. So that'd be kind of what I'd expect of the men's. The women's, again, I think you're just going to see an absolute overload of Barcelona. Moving into the goalkeepers, I imagine she'll go and win it because of the La Liga women's links. I doubt there's really much care about who wins it there. The forwards, I'd be very surprised if we don't go and see Hansen, obviously. Salma got back-to-back Ballon d'Or, so it'd be quite surprising if she doesn't get in there. And I imagine the last one will either be the likes of Smith or maybe Diani. But yeah, should probably be the likes of Smith with how popular her card is in FIFA. Midfielders, we'd be very surprised if they're not just going to go and hard stack the Barcelonas with the likes of Putellas getting in there, with the likes of Bon Matip getting in there. And then the last one will probably either be Patry or maybe they'll go and give it, or maybe Guerrero will win it. But I would say the Barcelona women should be quite heavily demanded. We then move on to the defenders. It'd be very surprising if Kachawi doesn't get in there. It'd be quite surprising if Renard doesn't get in there off the back of last year. Then other than that, maybe you go and get yet another Barcelona woman. And then maybe you go and get Batcher. We expected Batcher last year, but we didn't end up getting her. But yeah, maybe a Man City woman. It depends how much EA rig it, because even though we do get to choose, EA do always say that they have the final say. So if they're not happy about some players making it, or even if some players don't make it, they'll go and put them in there as an honourable mention. And again, you guys can go and vote for that. Just all you got to do is Google Team Year Voting or check out that Twitter. They don't talk too much about here, but the voting should be out for about 4 days, and then we expect Team of the Year in 11 days' time, which will be, well, 10 days' time now, which will be on the 17th. A little bit of content to wrap this up. There is a Evo for centre-back, so do be a little bit aware. Although I don't believe that the CDM Evo yesterday really dropped CDMs. If we move on to market, and then we move on to the Index 100 and look at what cards had the biggest drops yesterday. Obviously, you've got Pro Live cards. We've got cards that are in packs. We do have a little bit of a drop on Rodri, in all fairness, but I'd say there's kind of drops on players across the park. You know, we've got centre-backs there. We got the odd CDM there. We got like a left-back there. We got a left wing. We got another centre-back there. We got another striker there. Another striker there. A right wing there. So even though there are a few CDMs in it, I wouldn't say it's too direct. Normally when there's a really good Evo, every single one of these, par a few, will be filled up with the same position. But we're just not seeing it there, which means I wouldn't say that yesterday's Evo dropped CDMs. Well, basically in the same breath, I mean, centre-back's probably not dropping for the centre-back Evo. The only thing that maybe more favourably go for the centre-back Evo is we've gone so long since we've had a good centre-back SBC and Evo that maybe it does hold a higher chance of dropping, but I would still hold on to your cards. Other than that, these are the players that I think might go and fit the Evo. No guarantees, of course, but yeah, these would be my predictions. I think the likes of Tusha Many might go and fit it again. Maybe they'll let you go and do a chain Evo. Other popular players that might go and fit it is the likes of Ake. Not too much there regarding popular players. I mean, if I just go and click on popular, that'll probably give me a better idea. But yeah, Tuchemeni, Kanji, Ake. Maybe this is the return of Varane. I know some people have bought loads of Varanes, hoping that it'd be needed for an Evo in the last few months, and that's never come into fruition. We've got ourselves Schlotterbeck fitting it potentially. I didn't really find too many special cards. I did try and find the special cards for investments, but I didn't really find too much there. And I think that's going to go and wrap that up. Thank you very much for watching today's video, and we'll see you guys tomorrow with another video.